If you're selling on Amazon, you should be advertising on Amazon. Why? Well, because Amazon's pay-per-click advertising options are just so effective at generating revenue for your product. And thanks to Amazon's campaign manager, nowadays you don't have to pay an agency to optimize your Amazon pay-per-click campaigns for you. You also don't have to spend hours learning how to do it yourself, because you can actually learn how to do all of that in about 5.5 minutes, and that's exactly what we're going to do in today's video. We are going to show you the proven strategy used by many of today's 7, even 8-figure Amazon sellers for getting the most from your Amazon advertising dollars. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is log into your Amazon Seller Central dashboard and then click on the hamburger menu option in the top left. Then select Campaign Manager under the Advertising submenu. Next, we're going to select the desired campaign portfolio if you have portfolio set up, and if you don't, you can skip that. But then we want to change the date range, and we want to cover the 60 days ending today minus 2 days. Let's look at an example. If today is October 26, then today minus 2 days would be the 24th of October. So we set the date range to cover the 60 days starting 27 August and ending 24 October. Now, why do we do this? We do this because Amazon data takes approximately 48 hours to fully propagate, and this gives us the most accurate recent 60-day period to work with. So we work with the best possible data. So now we're going into the details of each campaign, and here's a tip to help you keep things a little more organized. You want to open the campaign details for each campaign in a new window or a new tab, and that just allows you to keep things nicely organized. Okay, now we're going to get to the fun part. We're going to have to perform the optimization on every ad group in that campaign. Now, for that reason, we like to have only one ad group per campaign, but you may have multiple, and this will work equally well if you do. So click on the ad group, or click on the first ad group if you have multiple, to open the ad group detail page, and then you want to select targeting from the menu on the left, and then you want to sort the data by clicks from the highest to the lowest. Now, if you don't see clicks, that means that you haven't enabled it, so click on the columns drop down and select clicks. In fact, you want to make sure that you have clicks, impressions, CTR, and sales all enabled, because you're going to work with all of those. Okay, now you're going to identify the first bid adjustments that you need to make. What are we looking for here? We're looking for keywords that have received a certain number of clicks but no sales. Now, as a guide, we typically look for keywords with 11 or more clicks and 0 sales, but you can change these values to suit your needs. Why do we do this? We do this because we want to identify keywords that are costing us advertising dollars, but they're not generating any revenue. We call these dead keywords. Now, what do you do with dead keywords? You can either get rid of them completely, or you can just drastically reduce their bid, and that's what we like to do. We don't like to get rid of keywords, simply because if we set a really low bid, typically 20 cents, at that rate it only takes one sale for a keyword that is considered dead to suddenly become something that has decent performance. And it also allows us to keep generating data. Data is always useful, and if you eliminate keywords, you're eliminating data. The last reason why we don't like to eliminate keywords is it allows us to remain competitive at times when other advertisers might not be. Maybe they've run out of budget for the day, and now suddenly our 20-cent keyword pops up, and snagging a sale on a keyword with a 20-cent bid when your competitor is not advertising, I mean, that can just do wonders for your advertising cost of sale, for your return on ad spend, whatever metric you want to measure by, it's going to help that significantly. So how do we change the bid? Well, you simply click on the box where the current bid is listed, you update the value, and you click Save. The two things we want to look at here are impressions and CTR. CTR means click-through rate. We're looking for keywords that have a large number of impressions. Typically for us, we're looking for 1,000 or more, but with very low clicks, typically 0.15% or less. A high impression count with a low CTR indicates a keyword that's been shown to a large number of people, but it's not generated a lot of interest. Now, these are also considered dead keywords, and they deserve the same treatment as before. We're going to reduce the bid to our minimum bid preference, which in our case is typically 20 cents. Now, you can decide what your impression count threshold and CTR threshold should be. As mentioned, we like 1,000 and 0.15% respectively, but you may decide to adjust those values to suit your needs. And that's why we like to use Optimate, because it provides us with a dashboard where we can set all these values specific to our requirements before we start optimizing in bulk. So the final step that we're going to take is we're going to adjust our bids based on advertising cost of sale, or ACOS. Let's sort the data by ACOS from high to low. Again, remember that little arrow must be pointing down. So what are we looking for here? Well, we first have to decide two things. One, what is our target ACOS? What are we aiming for? Now, you determine your target ACOS typically at the campaign level. A common metric is 20% ACOS, which means for every $20 you spend on advertising, you want to generate $100 in revenue. For keywords that are performing under your target ACOS, we want to increase the bid, but we don't want to go too aggressive on those increases, so we want to increase it by a factor, and that is your adjustment factor. It's the amount you increase your bid by when you make your adjustments. So once you've decided what your target ACOS is, you also want to decide what your adjustment factor should be. We like to use 20%, which means that we increase our bid by 1.2. The way you adjust your bid is by applying the formula new bid is equal to average cost per click multiplied by adjustment factor. Let's do a specific example to show you how that works. So in this case, I have a target ACOS of 20%, and the ACOS for this keyword is below that at 10.48%. The cost per click, the average cost per click for this keyword is $1.22, and my adjustment factor is 1.2. So I'm going to plug all these values into my formula. So I'm going to say average cost per click times adjustment factor. So that's $1.22 times 1.2 equals $1.46. And that's my new bid. So I'm going to adjust that bid from its current amount, which is $1.42, and I'm going to adjust it to $1.46. It's as simple as that. Now, what effect does that have? Well, first of all, our bid is now going to be more competitive relative to what it used to be and relative to other advertisers because we're willing to spend more. That means the keyword will be shown more often. It may mean I generate more revenue. And overall, I'm expecting the ACOS to slowly creep up towards my target of 20% over time if I continue making these adjustments. So what do we do if our ACOS is above our target ACOS? So our formula changes. We're going to adjust the bid, and we're going to use the following formula. The new bid is going to be equal to our target ACOS divided by our current ACOS, and we're going to take that answer and multiply it by the average cost per click. Sounds convoluted, but it's really simple. Let me show you a specific example. In this case, I have a target ACOS of 30%, and the keyword has an ACOS of 48.03%, so above my target ACOS. My average cost per click is 80 cents, and I'm going to plug these numbers into my formula. So target ACOS divided by current ACOS, so 30 divided by 48.03, and then that answer is multiplied by my average cost per click, which is 80 cents. So that means 0.62 multiplied by 0.8, giving me 0.5 or 50 cents. So I'm going to adjust my bid from its current amount, which is $1.16, to this new amount, which is 50 cents. And that is it. You've just learned everything you need to know about Amazon pay-per-click campaign optimization. All you have to do now is repeat, repeat, repeat. These are all the steps you need to perform. You need to do this for each keyword, in each ad group, in each campaign, once a week, and that's all. You're done. Now, if you've got thousands of keywords, this can take hours and hours and hours of mindless adjustments. I've done this. It's not fun. Plus, doing it manually always leads to human error, because as humans, it's impossible for us to focus on a repetitive task for hours on end without making mistakes. It's just, you can't do it. For that reason, we designed and developed Optimate. Optimate is designed specifically for this task. Once you've set the parameters in your dashboard, you can optimize literally tens of thousands of keywords every week in 60 seconds or less. And if you don't believe me, we've proven it. We've done a video in real time showing you how it works. You can check it out. So have a look at Optimate. See your Amazon pay-per-click campaign results absolutely skyrocket. It's free to try. You don't even need a credit card, and you can get 5 weeks worth of optimizations if you have a single seller account. You can get it for free. So no risk, full trial, try it out, no credit card needed. I think you're going to love it.